This imported video will show you the proper procedures to troubleshoot the Ultra UV and the Ultra UV2 ultraviolet water sanitation units, issues that are covered and not covered under warranty. Paramount's Ultra UV and Ultra UV2's warranty is 2 years for parts and 2 years for labor from date of swimming pool startup or retail purchase. Determine if the unit is under warranty. Locate the silver label on the unit. It will have the manufacture date, voltage, and number of UV lamps. If the UV unit is under warranty, take a picture of the label. It must be included with the completed warranty form you send to Paramount. Incomplete forms will delay processing. If the unit is out of warranty, or if the label is not legible, please provide proof of purchase date or startup date. Warranty stations should always have these replacement parts in stock: UV lamps, ballasts, pressure switches, quartz tubes, and O-rings. After the warranty service call has been completed, the warranty form must be completely filled out with customer info, builder or supplier info, warranty station info, labor costs, and postage charge if applicable. If you are returning parts to Paramount, you must request an RMA from Paramount's Customer Service Department. Call 1-800-621-5886 or email paramount@paramount.com. Paramount may elect to have the parts scrapped in field. Parts must be disposed of properly. Dispose of lamps properly. Visit www.lamprecycle.org for instructions on disposal. Important warnings. Do not look directly at a lit lamp outside of the UV unit. It will cause blindness. Never connect the lamp to the ballast outside of the quartz tube. Always wear rubber gloves when handling the lamps and quartz tube. Troubleshooting a leaking tank covered under warranty. First, start the pump and check that the lamps light up. Check for leaks. If the UV unit is leaking, you must determine where the leak is coming from. Pinhole leaks in the tank shell. These pinholes are usually located in the molded boss for the pressure switch, pressure gauge, drain plug, or right angle of the plastic in the tank. Leak at the glued-in glow ring. If any of these occur, the tank must be replaced. Complete the warranty form and contact Paramount for a replacement tank. Troubleshooting for leaks covered under warranty that do not require a tank replacement. These are possible locations for leaks to occur: a damaged quartz tube, leaking O-ring seal, leaking at the pressure switch, pressure gauge if there is one present, or drain plug. Carefully remove and inspect the quartz tube for damage that may have been caused during pressure test, startup, or cleaning. Note: the light assembly is different between the Ultra UV and the updated Ultra UV2. If the quartz tube shows no damage, inspect the O-ring and the threaded insert for cracks. Replace any components that are damaged. If you do not see any damage to the quartz tube, O-ring, or threaded insert, proceed to inspect for leaks at the pressure switch, pressure gauge, or drain plug. If there are visible signs of leaking at those locations, remove the switch, gauge, or drain plug, clean the threads, and reseal with thread sealant. Carefully reinstall the quartz tube, the lamps, reconnect the ballasts to the lamps, and reinstall the top. Turn on the unit, make sure the lamps light up, and inspect for leaks. Troubleshooting units that do not power up. If you encounter a 120-volt unit with a cord that has been modified, has an extension cord, or if the plug has been cut off and wired into a power source, this does not meet the UL requirement. Do not work on this unit. Call Paramount at 800-621-5886 and report the job to customer service. If the UV unit will not power up and the lamps do not light up after powering on, here's how to check the power to the unit. 1. Check the power at the breaker. 2. Test GFCI on plug-in UV units. 3. On hardwired UV units, check the connections and voltage in the pull box. If there's no power going to the UV unit, refer this to the builder or installer. This is not covered under warranty. 4. If the UV unit does not turn on, remove the pressure switch. Inspect the threaded socket to see if there is a hole drilled out. If not, drill out a 1/4 inch hole. If there is a hole drilled out, reinstall the pressure switch and test it for continuity with an ohm meter or jumper wires. If there is no continuity, replace the pressure switch. 5. If the pressure switch continuity is working, check for power at the female side of the ballast plug or plugs. If you are getting power, then the ballast is bad and must be replaced. If the lamps still don't light, replace the lamps. 6. After following steps 1 through 5 and the lamps still don't light, replace the tank. Troubleshooting intermittent lamp flashing after powering up unit. The UV unit flashes 2 or 3 times at startup and does not stay lit or flashes intermittently. This can be caused by 1. Insufficient pressure to the unit is causing the pressure switch to turn on and off. Determine if the UV unit is getting enough pressure. The UV unit requires 5 psi to activate. The filter pressure gauge does not indicate the pressure at the unit. Test this by creating back pressure on the system. Slowly close the return valves. This may require turning off any active water features. If the UV unit turns on, then it is a low pressure issue. Return the valves to the original position and notify the builder or installer there isn't enough back pressure. If it still does not turn on, proceed with troubleshooting. 2. Lamps or ballasts may need replacing. The smart sensing ballast is programmed to attempt to light the lamp 3 times. If after the 3rd attempt the lamp does not light, the ballast will shut down. Shut power off to the UV unit. Replace with new lamps. Return power to the UV unit. If the new lamps still do not light up, replace the ballast. 3. If the system is on a multi-speed pump. If the pump is running at a lower speed and the UV unit is not on, ramp the speed up. If it does turn on at higher speeds, then there is not enough back pressure to make the UV unit come on. It will either need extra return restriction for it to turn on, or the pump will have to run at a higher speed. This is a builder or installer issue, and they need to be informed of the situation. The following known conditions are not covered under the warranty: squeeze-out and improper winterization. A squeeze-out is caused by no or very low flow to the UV unit, but the unit is still under enough pressure to make the pressure switch the UV unit on. Improper plumbing of a pool with a heater or solar heater can cause a squeeze-out by water draining back into the UV unit. The proper plumbing of the UV unit is after the filter with a check valve before the heater or the solar heater. If a bypass is plumbed on the UV unit, the bypass must be completely closed. If the bypass has been left partially or completely open, all the water from the pump will bypass the UV unit while still allowing enough pressure to keep it on. Not having all of the water pass through the UV unit will increase heat in the UV unit, causing a squeeze-out. Close the valve, remove the handle, and inform the homeowner and builder or installer and service station that it must be closed at all times except for winterizing or when removing the UV unit. Low flow will cause a squeeze-out. This happens when a high-pressure, low-flow condition exists, such as running deck jets, waterfalls, and other very low-flow conditions when the pump is running at lower GPMs but is creating enough pressure to turn on the UV unit. The UV unit must have the following GPM of flow to avoid a squeeze-out. One lamp UV unit must have a minimum of 1.5 inch pipe and at least 10 gallons per minute flow. 2 lamp UV units must have a minimum of 2 inch pipe and at least 20 gallons per minute flow. 3 lamp UV lights must have a minimum of 2.5 inch pipe and 2 each 2 inch input and output pipes teed into the 2.5 inch or bigger input and outgoing plumbing, and a minimum flow of 30 gallons per minute. If a UV unit is plumbed below water level, a flow switch must be installed to replace the pressure switch. If there isn't a flow switch, it will cause a squeeze-out. Improper winterization will cause leaks that are not covered under warranty. If a UV unit is not properly winterized, the bottom of the tank will break or crack at the center plug. Any union or plug glued in by the installer that is leaking at the glue joint. A cracked boss for the pressure gauge, pressure switch, or drain plug. Ultra UV2 units manufactured after November 1, 2016 have a completely different lamp assembly that dramatically reduces heat in the unit while increasing the performance. It is highly recommended you retrofit all previous UV units with the updated Ultra UV2 lamp assembly. Previous lamps will not work with the updated assembly, and new lamps will not work with the previous UV units. Retrofitting with new UV2 lamp assembly is not covered under warranty. For optimum performance of the UV unit, it is recommended to clean the quartz tube every 6 months and replace the lamps every 13,000 hours. Knowing the proper procedures and how to troubleshoot the Ultra UV units will expedite service calls and avoid making costly mistakes. For more information or to schedule an in-person training session, contact your local Paramount sales manager. Call 1-800-621-5886 or email paramount@paramount.com.